Over the past 365 days here, I've been able to experience the ebbs and flows of things on a different level. And it feels a little weird to talk about it because I'm learning, these videos, I'm learning, I'm always evolving. But I'm a believer as well that the things that are difficult for you to talk about should probably be talked about. Why is that difficult to speak about, Brings up some kind of emotions, resistance maybe. But I got home from Europe a year ago and jumped into an online business for the first time. And getting into it, I didn't know the time horizon, right? Didn't know what to expect there, but I was like, 3 months? Okay. 3 months, let's see what happens. And those times come where you're like going about a day, you're like, I don't know where I am, right? It's just like this. It's like, what? I don't know where I am, but let's just stay in it for another day. So it was really just another day, right? It was, let's do it one more day. That was the time horizon. And this isn't a linear thing, right? Right? It's not a linear thing. And our sense of perceived comfort and the way that we live and the way that we work specifically, it's a linear trajectory and how we're trained, how we're conditioned to work. Right? And if I stick to this subcategory of work and the linear paradigm around work, it's not hard to see this, right? We like trading 1 hour for a predictable number of dollars in return. And over time, we can raise that number of dollars over time. Okay? Over a period of time, though, and this will change regarding the individual, at the soul level, that won't suffice. And that's the truth. In the entrepreneurial arena, right, this doesn't exist, of course. It's like this. It's like, where am I? What's going on? Right? The linear aspect isn't there. And the entrepreneurial journey is a more accurate representation of how we live and a more accurate representation of the laws of growth. I heard this somewhere as well. A business is a personal vehicle disguised as a wealth building vehicle. And that's definitely what it seems like. That's definitely what it seems like. But we like that predictable stuff, right? But there comes a time when we experience the unpredictable as the igniter to our soul. Now the recognizing and acting upon that is a different side of the coin, right? Totally different side of the coin, because the message isn't always received. Meaning we have an experience with the unpredictable, but we quickly run because we perceive it as dangerous. We exit too soon for that message to be fully transmuted. We look away in pain too quickly, and we back down from just staring into it. Like, what happens if you just stare into it for a little longer? And a great example of this, have you ever experienced an emergency at work? Have you ever experienced an emergency at work? And perhaps something dangerous or like urgent? Dude, I was working a custodial job one time. And there was an emergency at work. One of the pipes broke and like a flood happened basically. Small level flood. But it was one of the most exciting days of the summer. Because it was like, oh my goodness, time to step up, time to take care of business, right? Unpredictable. Duty. Time to step up and get it done. It was exciting. Immediately, it zaps you out of the mundane into that realm of excitement, right? Duty, trance. It's like all hands on deck, we got to get this thing done. And really, before you know it, if you have one of those experiences at work, you end up walking away from that day where it's like, yeah, maybe it was urgent or concerning or a little dangerous or something, whatever happened. But man, like, that was one of the most exciting days at work I've experienced in ages. And you can see how that's a difficult message to receive, right? Because we perceive that as negative, as wrong. And really, this unpredictable is foundational to who we are, you know? But unfortunately, many people back away from who they are and turn the other cheek when it comes to potential and really leaning into that thing that touches the soul, that sets the soul on fire. And it's only when it's time to be capable do we know that what we're capable of. Right? In those times of seemingly emergencies, we figure out what we're capable of, because it's do it or what else? Do it or die. That's a saying. It's do or die, right? So, do you understand like where I'm going with this? Can you just look into my eyes for a second? Do you understand where I'm going with this? There's a need for you to jump in the deep end when you don't know how to swim. There's a need for you to wildly heave yourself somewhere out there, set up camp, and survive. There's a need for you to burn all the ships at shore and conquer this island or die. And man, I've been fortunate enough to work on something over the past year here, which has really, put me outside of my comfort zone. And these videos are always a message to myself as well, which is interesting to reflect on always. But it's a constant learning process. And like I said, it's been something where I've been able to get out of my comfort zone with it and sit in it. Sit in it for another day. And I know in future videos here, I'm going to do some reflecting on some specific moments. Oh shit. I'm going to do some reflecting on some specific moments over the past year. Okay? Specifically, I think about a time in October, November. Some real uprooting and changing of direction. Some identity change moments. So I'm excited to talk about those things.